Howdy javadhamidi, and let's learn how we can develop our design with Annotation Panel. We have too many tools in here and most of them are really helpful in annotation part. The first one that we want to talk about is in Dimension Panel, and which is Align. Let's go to the floor plan, and here click on Align, or you can access it with DI in shortcut, and then you need to select the face or the place that you want to start your dimensioning. You can change the references from here. I prefer wall faces. You can put it on center of core or wall center lines and face of core. Let's put it on wall center line, and in here let's put it on individual reference. We will talk about the entire wall, and in here let's select this face in here. If you can select the appropriate face, press tab, and now you have your face, and click once and bring your mouse in here and press tab again, and let's click again, and now you can specify the placement of your dimension, or you can continue it without anything else. Let's select this one, for example. Let me go to the Align again. Let's put it on wall faces, and let's move on. Let's select this one and this one and this one and this one and this one, and then you can place the you can specify the placement of your annotation. For example, let's click once in here. Now we have our annotation in here. If you want to delete one of them, you can press tab in here, in this part, press tab multiple times and select it and delete it. But sometimes you need to continue your dimension from here. To do that, select your dimension, and in here click on edit witness line, and then you can continue your dimensioning from the end of the last part, and then you can continue to place dimensions very easily. And this is the easy way to annotate your plans. And let's click out of the box, out of the region in here once to finish our annotation and dimensioning, and then you can change the placement of it afterwards. You can drag it in here and place it something like in here. So that was the align part, and then we have a linear part. In linear, there are some differences in linear. For example, let's say we want to measure this wall that is not straight. When you use align in here, it will give you the dimension at this exact angle of that element. But sometimes for construction, you need to have the horizontal dimension or vertical dimension, or for that to be able to construct that element. That's the situation we use linear instead of align dimension. And sometimes we need to know the angle of this part, so we need to use angular dimension. Click on angular and select two line that you want to know, or two face that you want to know the angle between them. For example, this one and this one, and then you can place your angular dimension in here, or you can bring it out, and you can have the different angles in different situations of between these two lines or faces, and then place it. You can change the placement and can change the decimal numbers afterward, or we'll talk about them later, so don't worry about that. The next two tools that we want to talk about are radial and diameter. With radial, you need to select it and just select your circle, and you can know and measure the radius of your circle. But sometimes maybe you need the diameter of it, so just use diameter tools instead of radial. Another dimensioning tool that we have, which is a great option when you are working with complex shapes of buildings or buildings with arc shape places, you can go to arc length, and in here, for example, it is a little bit tricky, so make sure to watch it carefully. First of all, select the face of the arc that you want to measure, for example this face, Then you need to select the two intersecting faces with that arc. For example, this one and this one, and it will give you the arc length for this arc from here to here. Or if you don't have the right faces, you can create some reference lines, reference planes, or reference line or lines in here. For example, you can create a reference line in here, and you can select that reference line if you don't have the appropriate walls or faces there. The next three tools that we have are our three spots. The first one is a spot coordinate. We have a spot elevation, and we have a spot slope. We use spot slope to know the slope of that element. For example, our ramps and those places. Sometimes many times we need to know the coordinates of that part or that point in the model to be able to execute it right in site. And also sometimes we need to know the exact elevation of each part. For example, we have one floor, but we have the delta height and we have height difference in that floor. So that's where spot elevation comes in, and we place them to show the height difference. Now it's time to learn about the edit type of them. We don't cover each one because they are really simple. I will cover some of the important ones. For example, let's click on this one. Let's go to the edit type, and you need to know each of them has their own edit type. So if you create something, some types in Angular, it won't show in, for example, radial, dimensional type. So make sure to know about that. Let's select these and let's click on edit type, and in here I want to cover some of them. For example, we can change the tick mark from diagonal to millimeter. For example, this is the tick mark in here. Let's put it on arrow, for example, field arrow or something like something else that we have in here. Let's put it on arrow advanced. Click on apply. You can see this, or you can check something else, and even you can change them. You can change these tick marks from the manage tab and from additional settings, and in arrowhead part, in annotation and arrowheads, you can change each of them separately. Let's select these and let's click on edit type, and then we have the line widths of them, and we have tick mark line depths, and then we have witness lines. You can change each parameter of witness line in here. You can change the pattern of center line or pattern of center line tick mark. This, when you, for example, place your a dimension in the center line, it will have a different tick mark. You can change it. And then for interior tick mark, when they are really close together, for example, when you create some close tick marks, something like this, sometimes it is really it will be a mess. So you can tell Revit to decide which interior tick mark it needs to place, or which you don't, and Revit will decide to don't put interior tick marks in here because it will be a mess. So make sure to put it on dynamic. If you would put it on always show, it will place tick marks for each interior dimensions. And then we have the color of it. For example, let's put it on red in here. Click on apply. Click. You can see the lines in here. And then we have our text parameters. You can change the width factor. Sometimes, most of the time, I will put them on 0.8. It will be a little bit more neat. And then you can place underline, make it bold, or make it italic. And then you have the text size, which is one of the important one. For example, let's put it on 1. You can see it will be much smaller. Let's put it on 2. Click on OK. And then we have our text font. You can change the text font in here. For example, let's put it on Arial. Click on OK. Click on Apply. You can see the change. And also, let's talk about the text background. Let's place it. Let's bring them in here. You can see it is transparent right now. But if you would put it on opaque, it will be different. Let's put it on opaque. It depends on your needs. Sometimes when it is really populated, it is better to put it on opaque. but most of the time the transparent will give you better results. Let's put it on transparent, and then we have our opening height. You can specify it, and when you are dimensioning your windows, it will tell you the opening height. 2, you can change the text location, for example inline. Doesn't make any difference in here. It is for text. Let's put it on above, and we can separate spaces and those kind of things. And this is one of the most important one. You can change the unit of it. For example, your project unit is on meter, but you want to place your dimensions in centimeters, so you can change them in here. And let's uncheck the according to project setting, and let's put it on centimeter. Let's put it on 1 or maybe 0 decimal places, and let's put it on centimeter. Click on OK, and click on OK, and now I have it is on decimal places. Let's go to the 8 type again, and let's change it to, it is on decimal. Let's put it on centimeter. Click on OK, and OK. Now you have your dimensions into centimeter. And sometimes when you are working with different people with different measurement system, you can place some alternative units to. For example, I placed centimeter in here. I can place an alternative unit at the bottom or top of the main unit. For example, let's put the alternative unit to below of it, and let's put the alternative unit to inch or something else, and click on OK. And also you can specify prefix and suffix for it, and then click on apply, and now you can see the dimensions in inch in these parentheses that I've placed. You can put it on this symbol, and you can see it right here. And we have a quality text that I'm not going to cover it right now. We will talk about that in other videos, and that's the way you can change the dimension types. And there are lots of options. Make sure to check most of them. Some of them are not really functional in all situations, so I just covered the important ones. The next panel that we want to cover is detail panel, and in detail panel we have our detail lines, which is a really useful feature. For example, when you want to create some lines in that view and you don't want to see it in other views, because when you are creating lines you need to specify the plans, you need to specify the work plane for them. For example, let's take this wall in here, and when you create this, you can see it in sections in other views, and it will be a mess when you create too many lines. And they are useful, but when you want to see them in all views. But if you want to create a detail line and you want to have some lines in that specific view, it is better to use detail lines. It doesn't need to specify any work plane, and you can create it. For example, you can place some lines in here to show any specific detail you want to show, and that's the way that you can use detail lines. And they are not available and they are not visible in other views, and they are specific view elements. And again, in detail panel, sometimes we don't have the 3D element, but we need to show some regions or show some hashes in our detail view, or in any view that you like. For example, let's click on region, and now you can go to the edit type. Let's click create a new one, and let's place some things like maybe airs. Click on OK, and you can change the color of it, and you can change the masking of it, and then click on OK, and now you can create a region for this one. For example, something like this. You can use pick line 2, and let's trim these and click on finish, and now you will have your hatch in here. Even you can make them bigger than your views. Now you will have something like this, or when you hide your crop region, you will have something like this. You can use these regions in anywhere, and sometimes you want to mask something. For example, there are some things we don't want to model them in Revit, we just want to show them in here. So sometimes masking is really helpful feature. You can click on drop down in here, click on masking region, and the only work that this tool do is that it will create a white mask on top of the other elements. For example, let's create a mask in here, or maybe in this part. Let's create a mask. Let's click on finish, and now you can see that part. You can see the detail lines because most of them are detail elements. You can select your mask in here and you can bring it to front, and now you can see your lines and detail lines. You can make it bigger, or if you want to show the see the edges, let's go to the edit boundary and select your boundary lines, and let's put it on something else other than the invisible lines, and now you can see the lines too. That's the preference of you for in any mask that you can create.
You've seen 3D components, but in Annotate tab we have 2D components too. Sometimes we don't need to, and we don't have to model everything, and that's not efficient. So in here we can use some 2D elements, just bring them in those 2D elements and place them in your sections to make to enrich your section with additional and the necessary data that you need for construction and design development.
I'm bored, man. I can't copy all of these. Can you tell me a better way? Yeah, you don't need to copy all of them. There is a better way for these repetitive items that you want to place. We have the tool for them. Click on the drop down on components, and then you have repeating detail component. Click on them, and now you can specify, you can place the detail item you want to repeat, and you can place you can change the layout of it and the spacing of them. Click on OK. Now it is not a really great item to repeat. You can use these two, but let's replace it with a break. Now we can place them much easier in here. Click once in here, and now you have your break item. You can change the layout of them really easily, and even you can go to the family and change the color of it, or you can change the color of it even in here. So that's an easy way to create your details, and you can change the dimension in here. For example, let's put it on 7 centimeter. Click on apply. Maybe 8 would be better. So that's the way you can place your repetitive components. You can change it from fixed distance to fill available space, and it will be much better for this kind of break elements. And in here you need to bring it down a little bit to delete the last one. Now we are good to go. Next to that we have is revision cloud, which you can use for revisions. As the name describes, you can create some revisions, for example for this store in here, and you can create revisions in different shape in here, for example something like this. Let's bring it in here. Click on finish. Now you have your revisions. You can select on each of them. You can change the number of revisions. You can place a mark for it, and also you can place your comments on that revision, and then in the future you can create a schedule for your revisions, and you can tag them too.
Most of the time in Elements we have an installation layer, and the industry standard for showing installation is a little bit hard to find it in Revit hatches. And that's the time installation tool comes in Revit. Just select it and you can change each of its parameters. You can change the width of it and the frequency of it, and just place it and enjoy this great tool for your detailing process.
The next panel that we want to talk about is text panel. But before diving into this panel, make sure to subscribe this channel and like this video to help us create more videos like this. Okay, click on text in here, and let's you have different kind of text in here. You have it with leader, with one leader, with 2 segment leader, and with arc leader. You can change between these four forms of text, and then you can type, for example, demolished. Okay, that's great. You can place text and you can change the text attachment from top, from the horizontal and vertical poles. You can change the alignment of it, and also you can go to the edit tab. You can change the color of it and all of the options that you have, the line width and the background of it. You can put it on transparent or opaque, and then you can change the font of it and text size and tab size, and you can make it bold and also width factor. We had all of them in dimension edit types, so I'm not going to cover them all of them in here. So that was about the text, but I can't remember this spelling, man. Let's search it on Google. Actually, we don't need to do that because we have a check spelling and find and replace option in here. Click on check spelling and it will check all of the text in your active view, and it will give you a suggestion for it. For example, let's place it, let's go for with demolish in here, and then click on change, and then because we don't have any other problem in our spelling, it is great, and it will replace it very easily. And also you can find and replace. For example, you can find demolished and we want to replace with new construction. Then click on find all and then click on replace all, and now you can see we replace the demolished text with new construction text.
The next tool that we have is a really great feature in Revit, that is a tag. As the name describes, it's a tag, and it will report one or multiple parameters of your elements that you select. For example, we want to tag our doors according to its type or according to its material, to have a, for example, door and window schedule or other kind of things. Let's learn it.
Now you know the job of the tags. Let's place some tags. For example, you need to go to the annotation, and in here you have tag category, tag all, and also you have material tag. For example, when you click on tag by category, you need to have the tag for that specific category that you want to place tags. For example, I want to place my tags for my windows. For example, let's place it in here. Now you can see I have a really complex tags for my windows. Let's place it for doors. And now we have different tags for this door, and each of them are reporting one parameter of the door. But if you want to make it simpler, you can change the tag of it. Click on tag by category, and in here click on tags, and let's go to the window part. You can change the tag of it. If you don't have any other tags to replace, let's go and bring some tags. Click on insert, and let's bring some new tags in here. Okay, now we have our window and door tag. Let's select both of them and bring them in. And now let's go to tag again, and let's change our tag in tag by all. Click on OK. And now when I place tag, you can see a really simple tag in here. And let's go to the edit type of the door, or in instance parameters, you can see it is reporting the mark of that door. So each tag reporting one or multiple parameters of that element for us. You can change the parameters, and let's learn how we can create a new tag according to our needs.
You saw the default tags are not that great, and they can't see your needs sometimes and most of the time. So you need to create your custom tag with exact parameters that you need. Let's create them.
For example, let's create a tag for our window that will show the width of it and the height of it, or other parameters that we want. To do that, click on file in here, click on new and new family, and let's select the appropriate template in here. You need to go to the family templates and in English part. Then we have annotation, and you can find the window tag in here, or if you can't find it in here, you can use general tag. Click on open, and now we want to create a tag for ourselves. The first part is our label. We want to create some labels. For example, let's click on label. In create part, click on label, and let's place it in here. And now you can select the parameter that you want to see in your tag. For example, I want the mark, and also I want the family and type, or we can find family name or family type. We can bring it. Let's bring that up, and I don't want any other elements. We can put the cell height too. Let's place cell height in here, and let's click on break because I want each of them in different line. And now click on OK, and now we have our sample values in here. You can create some lines around it, but I don't want any line. Or let's create a line in here. Let's create a frame in here. You can work more with it, but I don't want to. I don't want it. Click on load, and now we have a new tag in our family. Let's press place those tags, but you can't see them in here. So it was for Windows, you know. So let's place them on Windows, and now you can see your new tag with the exact things and exact parameters that you want to report on your tags. And we have another tool in tag, which is material tag. You can use it in places that we have some elements with different layers, or you want to tag the material of that element, not the type of or family of that element. You can use material tag, and then you need to import one if you don't have any. Now you can see the name or the parameter that the creator has been specified in this tag, and it will report that parameter of that material for you in here. We have keynotes, but I will cover it in another video because it's another level of annotation, and you just need to know it if you're an advanced user. Now it's time to learn symbols, which are 2D elements that we use them in some specific views in Revit. For example, I have this north symbol in here. Let's load it in family. For example, let's load it in our building, and in here, in sheets or any 3D view, you can place it really easily. And now you can select it, and now you can place the other coordination ticks. You can bring or put the ring, and also you can do all of these things. For example, let's put it on 0. It will be something like this, and even you can change the north arrow really easily with this one. This is a really good family. I will put it on my Patreon files, and also even you can download it from Beam-Speed. It is the Beam-Speed annotation, and that's great, guys. You can use some of the other annotations for different things and for different usage. They are just 2D annotations that they are not really detailed element. They are just symbols, as the name describes. And also at the end, we have some parameters like span direction. You can place a span direction on your floors. You can have a beam element, and also you have, for example, a stair pass. Let's place it on a stair pass. We have a stair pass in here. Let's delete it first, and then click on a stair pass, and now you can select your stair, and it will place your stair pass. And then you have your pass for reinforcement pass, and all of the reinforcement annotation that I will upload another video specifically for those annotations and symbols for reinforcement. You can see this floor plan is great, but if you want to have your second floor as the exact shape, as the exact look of this one, you need to spend hours of work. Make sure to watch this video in here and learn about the view templates, and it will save you hours of work.